Greetings and salutations, and this is Tech Plays here, back with more Shadow Generations, and we are moving on to some more challenges. That is mostly what's going to be going on in this video. We're also going to be doing a boss fight, obviously, but we're moving on to some more challenges. We do get to play my favorite boss in the game in this video, though, so that's a plus. It's actually the boss that my current intro theme comes from. Now, I've kind of, changed how, I'm gonna be doing, my intros for Let's Plays going forward. As you see with the current intro, it's only showing gameplay from this game, and it's using a song from this game. That's gonna be the case going forward. Each Let's Play is gonna have its own, unique intro with, they won't all be guaranteed to be using a song from the respective game I'm Let's Playing, because some games just don't have as good as soundtracks as others, or don't have a means for me to record a clip of their soundtrack. So when those games come along, I'll just reuse music from the previous Let's Play, but the visuals for the intro will change from Let's Play to Let's Play. Like when I get to the Sonic Generations half of this, it's all going to be Sonic Generations gameplay. I plan to do BioShock and The Walking Dead Season 2. Those are two of the next few Let's Plays I plan on doing. When I get to those, it's only going to be gameplay from those games, you know? That's how it's going to be. I had originally tried to do both The Walking Dead Season 2 and The Walking Dead Final Season on my channel before, but canceled both. It's hard for me to do Telltale games, so I've decided to just spread those Let's Plays really far apart, so when I get to them, it's easier on me. The reason why they're so hard is because there's so much dialogue and so much happening, because the games are they're point and click story adventures, right? So most of what's going on in the game isn't gameplay, it's story and character dialogue and all that stuff. So it makes it hard for me to commentate, because since I commentate in post, I don't know when to stop commentating. And that's kind of what I struggled with when I was doing The Walking Dead Season 1 and Tales from the Borderlands. So I know for sure I'm at least doing The Walking Dead Season 2, but it's probably not going to be the next Let's Play, but it's going to be one of the next few. I did Resident Evil Revelations. Technically, I did that already as a live stream. Unlike Shadow Generations, I probably won't be translating it to a Let's Play. The version of it, of my run of it, you're gonna have to watch. It's just the live version, unfortunately. I do apologize for that, but we're moving on to Kingdom Valley challenges. Nice. Now, what are my opinions on the challenges in Shadow Generations, since we're back on them? I think they're pretty neat. I don't think they're as, interesting as the ones in Sonic Generations, but I do appreciate that they're faster and shorter and stuff like that. Some of them are hard, some are easy, so, there's a good challenge here and there, but they're kind of, about as hard and easy as Sonic Generations challenges. But whereas a lot of Sonic Generations challenges can take, up to 2 or 3 minutes, none of the Shadow Generations challenges do, and I kind of appreciate that, because the challenges are my least favorite part of, completing these games. So I kind of like that they're short for Shadow Generations, especially since to beat the game, to beat the game story, you do have to beat every single challenge. So I do appreciate that they're shorter for the most part. I think the longest one is about 1.5 minutes long, and that's if you're doing really bad. So I do appreciate that part. But like I said, they're less interesting than the Sonic Generations challenges, because Sonic Generations challenges had Sonic's friends helping out, or being an obstacle in some cases. There's an Espio mini-boss in Sonic Generations, and that's one of my favorite missions to play in that game. There's also a Vector mini-boss. There's a mission where, Rouge is dropping a bunch of, bombs, and you have to dodge them as classic Sonic. Those are examples of, Sonic's friends being obstacles. But then there's, There's like a mission where Amy uses her hammer to boost Sonic up. There's a mission where like Sonic can call on Knuckles to treasure hunt. There's a mission where Cream drops rings for Sonic. Those are examples of like what, like those missions are so cool, and I kind of understand it from somewhat. I kind of somewhat understand it because Shadow's made friends are Rouge and Omega, and Rouge was already used for 2 missions in the main Sonic generation. So if they had included like some like helper or like if they had included some missions that involved like characters, it would have probably had to have been Omega only, because like Rouge was used twice in the main generations for like missions, and then like Gerald and Maria don't have any special abilities they can really like participate in a mission with. And then Orbot and Cubot and Big the cat are also in this game, but like I don't know if Big is really Shadow's friend. He smiles when he sees Big. That's in the cutscenes, so I assume he likes Big. He likes having Big around. In a similar way, like, he likes having Sonic around. Like, you know, him and Sonic are not really, like, friends, but they're allies, for the most part. They're allies and rivals, and I feel like that's what Big is. Take away the rival part, he's just an ally, and Shadow's just happy to see him. Oh, was too slow for that. You're too slow. Had to do it. But yeah, I feel like it's like that. And like, I feel like Amy's like that for Shadow too. Like, I feel like Sonic, Amy, and Big are like that for Shadow, where like, they're not necessarily friends, but he'd be happy to see them. You know what I mean? That's just my own personal headcanon, though, like, just going off evidence from, like, different games. Because Shadow always seems happy to, like, race Sonic. He was happy to see Big in this game. In both SA2 and Shadow the Hedgehog, if I remember correctly, there's, like, moments that show that he has, like, a soft spot for Amy. That means they could be friends, you know? Or at the very least, that he sees her as an ally like he does Sonic and Big. Who knows? And we know Rouge and Omega are his friends, and, like, Gerald and Maria are his family, so it's just... This is just speculating outside of, like, those 4 characters. But yeah. A character I would like to see, now that we got Shadow Generations, if Sega and Sonic Team continue the thing where they make a game focused on another character, I feel like the next best character to do it with after Shadow is Blaze. And I know a lot of people like are like Silver Generations and stuff like that, but no, like, I don't think Silver's the right character. And I'm gonna get into why. Blaze has a more interesting and fun moveset than Silver does, in my honest opinion. Silver's Psychokinesis, I feel like, is more limiting gameplay-wise, because due to, like, what it is, there's only so much you could do gameplay-wise without it breaking the game. And I feel like with Blaze, her Pyrokinesis could do a lot more gameplay-wise without, like, breaking the game, and I feel like there's so much you could do with her. There's also the fact she's from a different dimension, and I feel like a character from a different dimension is more interesting than a character from the future, especially since we saw a bit of her dimension in Sonic Rush Adventure. That's part of why Sonic Rush Adventure is my favorite Sonic game, is because we get to see some of the Soul Dimension. And I'd like to see more of it in a future game if we can. Even if, like, we can't get, like, a Blaze solo game, I'd like to get like a continuation of the Rush games. Not necessarily, it doesn't even have to be like the same, like, gameplay style and stuff. I more so mean like a continuation of the Rush games story-wise, where it explores more of the Soul Dimension. I'd love to see that. I feel like that's something, that's an area where there's a lot of missed potential. And I failed there. I feel like that's an area where there's a lot of missed potential is with Blaze in the Soul Dimension, because like there's only so much you could do with like Silver in the future, but I feel like with Blaze in the Soul Dimension, there's like a whole world you could explore and stuff, and I feel like that would be like the smartest direction to go for like the next character to make a game for besides Sonic. I mean, obviously you could also make a Tails or Knuckles game or maybe an Amy game, but I feel like since they're like more well known, but I feel like a Blaze game offers like the most. Like you already have a location, like an interesting location with a lot of new stuff you could do. You could also bring back a couple locations with Sonic Rush Adventure if you wanted to, which I would not be against if they did that. I would love to see like what like places like Coral Caves, Plant Kingdom, Machine Labyrinth, Haunted Ship, I almost called it Ghost Ship, Haunted Ship, Sky Babylon, Pirates Island, Blizzard Peaks. I'd love to see what all those stages look like in like full 3D, because yeah, those stages were like rendered kind of in 3D in Sonic Rush Adventure, but they were like low poly and they were like they were made to look 2D for the most part, so it was like I would just love to see what they would look like fully rendered in 3D, because honestly I think Rush Adventure has some of the most interesting looking stages in the series, and I would love to see what they look like. Like seriously, Rush Adventure has like a ghost ship, like a haunted pirate ship. It has the Coral Caves. It has a steampunk factory. It has a okay, I'll admit Blizzard Peaks and hold on. I'll admit that Blizzard Peaks isn't that interesting. Neither is Plant Kingdom. They're both like just like different takes on stages the series had done before, like an ice stage and a jungle stage. But the other 5 stages would be so interesting to see in like a modern graphic 3D environment. It's just unreal. Like I would love the ones I would love to see most, if I'm being quite honest, would probably be either Coral Caves, Machine Lab. I would probably either be Coral Caves, Machine Labyrinth, or actually that's hard because I'm about to name like 4 out of 5 of them. Okay, if I had to choose, I would probably want to see like Sky Babylon or Haunted Ship the most in like modern graphics. But Machine Labyrinth, Coral Caves, and Pirates Island would also be really cool to see. So like if they decided to bring any of those stages back, if they ever made another game based in the Soul Dimension, I would not be mad about it. As long as they add like some expansion on the Soul Dimension, and they like, cause like that's what I want to see. I want to see them like expand upon the Soul Dimension, expand upon Blaze's character, introduce characters Blaze knows from her dimension. Cause like yeah, you have Marine, but she met Marine during Rush Adventure. Like the only characters we got to see in the game series that she knew before Rush Adventure was like those koala dudes that, you know, I think they were called the Coconut Crew or something. Like it's just those dudes. But I would like to see like specific named characters Blaze knows, like you know, like maybe there's like characters similar to like Sonic's friends there, you know, like characters that Blaze teams up with sometimes or something. I'd love to see like that, or like enemies she has besides Captain Whiskers and Eggman Nega. Like I'd love to see like enemies she has besides those. But that might just be me. Like I feel like it's the area of the Sonic series that has the most untapped potential. And I feel like you could do a lot. And if they announce like a Blaze the Cat game taking place in the Soul Dimension, or at the very least like a new Sonic game taking place in the Soul Dimension, it would probably become my favorite Sonic game of all time, as long as as long as its gameplay was pretty cool and it expanded upon Assault Dimension, it would be my favorite Sonic game of all time, I'm telling you. Shadow Generations comes close, but I still love Rush Adventure, Sonic Unleashed. I still love both of those games more than it. And yes, I still prefer the Wii version / PS2 version of Sonic Unleashed because I don't like hunting the medals. I like getting them through rankings. That's literally my main reason. And I know there's a lot of like challenge acts and tutorial acts you have to get through in that version, but I just do not care. I do not care. I will say this, if they bring Sonic Unleashed to modern consoles, I know they would pick the HD version. I do hope that they, like, edit it to where you do earn the medals through, rankings like you do in the SD version. I feel like that would be, like, the ultimate upgrade to the game. Is, like, move the medals to the ranking system. Like the SD version did. Because, like, I do want, like, a modern port of Unleashed. No matter which version it is, I'll take either one. But I would prefer, like, if they did the ranking system medal rewards like they did for the SD version. Instead of hunting them in the levels. That or they took away, like, the medal, like, requirements, or lowered though. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic. I'm trying to wipe my eye, and my mic is just in the way. There we go. But yeah, Unleashed and Rush Adventure are still above this game for me, unfortunately. Currently, like, my rankings go, Rush Adventure, Unleashed, Shadow Generations, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Probably after that would probably be Sonic Heroes, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Generations, and then so on. At the very bottom of the list are Secret Rings and Forces. At the very, very bottom, above those would probably be, 06. Never played Rise of Lyric or Lost World, so don't come at me like, oh, actually, Rise of Lyric is worse than this. No, I've never played it, so I'm not ranking it. I don't feel like it's right for me to rank a game I've never touched. It's kind of sad, like, for anybody who's a fan of Lost World, it's kind of sad what's going to happen to it, though, because since it's, like, one of the, like, less well-received Sonic games, and it's stuck on just the, what is it, the 3DS and Wii U, I don't think it's ever been brought back. Like, there's a chance they'll, like, port over Unleashed. There's a chance they'll port over Sonic Heroes. But, like, I don't think they're ever, like, porting over or remaking or remastering whatever. Like, I don't think they're ever remastering 06 or Lost World. In particular, I feel like those games are never getting that treatment. I mean, obviously Forces wouldn't either, but, like, Forces is on modern consoles already, so there's not really, like, a reason they would have to in the first place. But, like, to people who want, like, an 06 remaster, I don't think it's happening. Like, I think most likely the next game that, like, Sega or Sonic Team might try to remaster is either going to be the Sonic Adventure games, Heroes, or Unleashed, because those are the remaining 3D games that have actually done decent enough to well. You know, like, they've done decent enough to well. And, like, people love those games in current times. So I feel like they would, like, be the most likely. And yeah, there's a lot of 06 lovers and 06 defenders, mostly people who played Project 06 and don't remember how bad the main game is. Yeah, there's a lot of those people, but I'm pretty sure the number of people who don't like 06 is still a larger number, unfortunately, for those people. So I can't see Sonic Team and Sega, like, remastering 06. It was, like, their biggest mistake. That would be like putting a Band-Aid on a pile of shit. Like, the Band-Aid ain't gonna fix it, fam. Is this the challenge I think it is? If it is, I like this challenge. This is one of the most fun challenges. I wish they did more challenges like this. Yeah, this is the challenge I think it is. I wish they did more challenges like this. Because this feels more in line with the main generation's challenges than the rest of them. Okay, let's step on the button. Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to run back there. Okay, that's my bad. But yeah, like I was saying, if they were going to remaster or port over another Sonic game, I feel like it's most likely going to be Unleashed or Heroes, but the Sonic Adventure games also have a good possibility because they did pretty well. But Unleashed and Heroes are like the games most people like remember fondly right now. They're the games that like, aside from like the ones that have already been remastered, they're the games that are like looked at the most positively these days. So I feel like Unleashed and Heroes are like the most likely ones, and there's already been like rumors of a Heroes remaster. And if there is a Heroes remastered, I'm fully on board with it. No, I really am, because Sonic Heroes is one of my favorite games from my childhood. I would love to play it again. I would love to let's play it in particular. Unleashed, not Unleashed, I forgot. Unleashed would also be one I would really love to play. Like, those are the two I would want to happen most. Followed behind the adventure games. But like, also speaking realistically, I think those are the 4 games that are most likely to get the remaster treatment at this point, because they already did the four main classic games. They already like ported over a bunch of like Game Gear titles as part of like Sonic Origins Plus. We already have like Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces, Team Sonic Racing, Sonic Frontiers on modern consoles. So those don't need remasters. And they already ported over like Generations, or not ported, but they remastered Generations and Colors. So really, all that's left in terms of, well, the Rush games would also be a really good one, in my opinion, and I feel like they wouldn't be that hard. Maybe the double screen thing might be hard to like fix, because like obviously if you're playing on like modern consoles, you ain't gonna be using the double screen. But I feel like it wouldn't be like too hard to port the Rush games, because they would be smaller games that wouldn't need as much like to run them. I would love if they ported over the Rush games, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, unfortunately. Like, the Rush games would be high up on my list. Literally, I think I would prefer the Rush games. I would prefer the Rush duology. And yes, it's a duology. Colors DS is not a Rush game. It may have the same gameplay style, but it's not a Rush game. That's like saying since Generations and Forces and Frontiers all use the boost, that they're Unleashed games. That's literally like saying that. They're not. Newsflash, they're not. But yeah. I think the Rush games would be like the ones I would most want ported to modern consoles, but it's not happening. I already know it's not. I think Heroes, Unleashed, and the adventure games are like the most likely. But I feel like the reason why I feel like Heroes and Unleashed are more likely than the adventure games is because there's only a few things they would have to tweak for Heroes and Unleashed, aside from like a graphical upgrade, obviously. There's only a few things they'd have to tweak for those games. Whereas with like the adventure games, they'd have to fix like the cutscene and the cutscene lip syncing and stuff. They'd probably have to fix a lot of that kind of stuff. And I feel like that would take a lot more work than the few like errors they'd have to fix with like Heroes and Unleashed. Oh, we're here. I am not kidding you. When I originally streamed this game, the moment the song came on, I just couldn't help but start like singing. I had a sore throat and everything, so I had to keep stopping, but I wanted to sing this so damn bad. This song is epic, man. There's a reason it's my intro. Like, this song is so damn epic, it's not even funny. But yeah, back to what I was saying. But yeah, I also think like, cause here's the thing with Heroes. I know Heroes has like a few like control issues. All they'd have to do is like tighten the controls a little bit, and like fix it to where the light speed dash is not on the same button as the rocket itself. That's all they'd have to do to fix that game. Is those two things, and then like of course a graphical upgrade. All they'd have to do with Unleashed is a graphical update. Graphical upgrade. I mean, I don't know if Sega would redub the cutscenes or not, because like the actors in those games are not voicing for the series anymore, except for Mike Pollock and Unleashed. So I'm not sure if like Sega would like redub it like they did with Sonic Generations. Who knows? They might. I don't know if Sega and Sonic Team would do that. But even with the redubbing, I feel like it's still less work to do like Heroes and Unleashed than it is the Sonic Adventure games. Because like I said, there's a lot of like lip syncing and animation issues in these Sonic Adventure games that I feel like they would need to fix. And then like on top of that, you'd have to do like a bigger graphical upgrade than both Sonic Heroes and Unleashed. And that would be a bigger pain. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Plus, this is another thing making me think that that a Sonic Heroes a Sonic Heroes remaster or remake or whatever is more likely. Look at the amount of Heroes assets they have in Shadow Generations already. They have all the assets for Rail Canyon. They have the Metal Overlord assets. They have all the characters from Heroes, including Big the Cat. They have, like, I know it's retexture chemical plant stuff, but they have, like, a few assets here that they could use for the Egg Fleet. Like, it's crazy how many assets they have for, like, Heroes already. It's probably the game they have the most assets to work with. And you think it stops there? No, I'm not kidding. They have Seaside Hill in the main game. They literally have the assets ready for basically four of the 14 stages. Seaside Hill, Ocean Palace, Egg Fleet, Final Fortress. They have all those. Not Egg Fleet, Final Fortress. They have Seaside Hill, Ocean Palace, Rail Canyon, Bullet Station assets already. They have Metal Overlord. They have all the character assets. Literally, they would just have to make assets for the bosses and the other like 5 stage themes. But yeah. I have a feeling there's gonna be a cutscene, otherwise I would say I'm ending it off here because like there's a reason there's 3 minutes left. Yep, I do it. Unless this is just the cutscene of it showing the Doom Eye getting more powerful. In which case, we're not... Oh, yep, cutscene.
Shadow? Are you in pain?
No. I feel a connection to the symbol in the sky. It's the same tingle as my new abilities.
It is the power of Black Doom.
Grandfather?
I made a Faustian deal with that monster to create Shadow. Now it seems that we all have to pay for my sins.
So my powers, that symbol, they're all connected.
Maria's illness couldn't be treated on Earth. I could better manage her condition on the Ark, even if her family didn't like the idea. I attempted to develop the ultimate life form as a means to find a cure for Maria. My own experiments reached their frustrating limits. So when that alien warlord reached out to me and offered the miracle of chaos control, I accepted it. Through his DNA, the ultimate life form was born. Black Doom wanted me to make the perfect warrior for him, so these new abilities are all part of his grand design. You two are linked by blood. As you grow in power, so does he. He will either take control of your mind and make you his ultimate weapon, or take over your body and be reborn in you.
You made me the ultimate life form, Professor. Black Doom is a fool. I'll take this power and use it as my own.
But yeah, I'm going to be ending off here. I'm going to be ending it off here, so bye.